Hello, Big Reds. This is Mr. Fischel talking. So today we were going to talk about what I need to know for the Unit 1 test. If you know the stuff that's on here that I'm going over, then you should get 100% on the test. Make sure you're listening to me as well, because I'm going to say some things that you really need to know. So first of all, you need to be able to find the midpoint. All right, so the midpoint, for instance, here's an example problem. If I have the point 2, -3, and I have the point -8, 5, and I want to find the midpoint of those 2 points, this will be on the test. We have to add the x's together and divide by 2, and add the y's together and divide by 2. So I'm going to take 2 plus -8 divided by 2. Those are the x values. And I'm going to take -3 plus 5 and divide it by 2. Right? When you do this, very important, you take 2 plus -8, you got to press equals first before you divide by 2. So we know that 2 plus -8 is -6 divided by 2, and -3 plus 5 is 2 divided by 2. And you want to simplify this. So -6 divided by 2 is going to be -3, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now you might have a decimal on the test, but this is how you do find the midpoint. All right. The next type of thing that you're going to need to know is find the distance. So I'm going to find the distance between 2 points. Let's say those points are -3, 10, and let's go with -8, 7. And those are the points I want to find the distance between. I could do it two ways. So I could use the distance formula, which is distance is the square root of x2 minus x1 parentheses squared plus y2 minus y1 parentheses squared. So I could do it that way. Or I could graph and use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I could do either one of those ways. Okay, I'm going to show you this way first. So I take the square root of my second x minus my first x, so it's going to be -8 minus -3 squared plus y2 minus y1, 7 minus 10 parentheses squared. The next thing I do is I figure out when the inside. If I minus a negative, that's the same as plus, right? So I have a -8 plus 3, which is -5 parentheses squared, plus 7 minus 10, which is -3 parentheses squared. Now when you do this, oh, sorry, I'll pull this up a little bit. Sorry about that. When you do this on your calculator, you got to make sure the negative is in parentheses. That's important. So I take -5 parentheses squared, which is going to be 25, plus -3 parentheses squared, that's 9. So I end up with, add these together, square root of 34. So this could be my answer. Or I could put it in a decimal. Okay, so I could figure out what the decimal equivalent of that is, and that could be my answer as well. Okay, so that's a possibility. I believe that's about approximately 5.8. If I'm wrong, you can have a donut point for that. I think that's what the answer is. Now, I'm going to show you how to do it on a graph. So if you could get out a sheet of graph paper, and I'm going to do this along with you, so I'm going to make a coordinate grid here, and a coordinate grid here. This is a coordinate plane, right? And I'm going to put in my points. So my points were -3, 10. So that means I go to left, 1, 2, 3, and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Then I look at my next point. My next point was negative 8, 7. So I go to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is negative 8, 7. Just going to check to see I got those points right. Yep. All right, now I'm going to connect those two, and that's the length of my segment right here. Okay. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a right triangle. So if I look at this, I look at my y, I have 3 boxes here. So this is going to be 3. Another way you can think about that is the distance between 7 and 10 has got to be 3, right? So that's why I put a 3 there. Over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes because the distance between negative 3 and negative 8 is 5. Now to finish solving that, I take 3 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared, where this side would be my c. That's what I want to find the length of. I take 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 5 times 5, which is 25, and then I add these two together to get 34 equals c squared. I have to take the square root, so my answer is either the square root of 34 or approximately 5.8. Either one of those answers are correct. So this concludes part 1 of the review video. Please watch the other parts to make sure you can get 100% on the first test. Thank you.